You believe deep work is about discipline. You think the people who do it are simply more focused than you. You imagine them sitting calmly for hours untouched by distraction. You assume they were born with something you lack. So you try to copy them. You block your calendar, silence your phone, and brace for impact. And within 40 minutes, you feel something strange happening inside you. A restless pressure that has nothing to do with the work itself. You quit before you understand what just happened. What nobody tells you is that deep work is not a focus problem at all. For decades, deep work advice has centered on willpower. Productivity experts repeat the same lines every year. Eliminate distractions, use timers, build the habit, stack the hours, repeat until disciplined. This advice is not wrong, but it is dangerously incomplete in one critical way. It treats deep work like behavior, when in reality, it is a nervous system event. Your brain enters deep work the same way your body enters cold water. Slowly, painfully, with resistance. The first 20 minutes are not focus. They are detox. They are uncomfortable on purpose. Your mind is unwinding from constant stimulation, like a clenched fist trying to open. This is the part most people never push through, because no one warned them it would feel like this. You assume the discomfort means you are doing it wrong. You stand up, you check your phone, and you reset the clock back to zero. You begin the suffering all over again tomorrow. But there is something even more surprising about this pattern. The discomfort is not random. It is biological. It is measurable in the brain. Your dopamine system has been recalibrated by years of micro-rewards. Notifications, scrolls, messages, refreshes, likes. Each one delivered a tiny chemical hit, predictable, fast, and almost effortless to obtain. Deep work offers the opposite experience. The reward is delayed, sometimes by hours, sometimes by days. Your brain treats this delay as a threat to its energy economy and tries to correct it. It sends signals that feel like boredom, anxiety, or sudden urgency about unrelated tasks. Suddenly you remember an email, a bill, a text, a snack, a song. None of it is real. It is your nervous system trying to escape sustained effort. This is the part most productivity advice never mentions out loud. The discomfort of deep work is not weakness. It is withdrawal from cheap stimulation. And like all withdrawals, it has a timeline. It peaks. Then it fades. Then it dissolves. Most people quit during the peak. They imagine champagne, luxury cars, massive houses. That version is quieter, slower, more precise, more dangerous in the best possible way. Because deep work changes more than your output. It changes your relationship with discomfort itself. Picture this. You sit down to write. Your mind resists almost immediately. You stay anyway. You do not chase the resistance. You do not fight it directly. You simply remain in the chair, eyes on the page, breathing slowly through your nose. After 30 minutes, something shifts inside you. The mental static thins. You hear yourself think for the first time all day. The noise drops away. This is the doorway. Not the destination, not the prize, just the entrance. What neuroscience discovered next changes everything you thought you knew. When you stay through the discomfort, your brain begins to release norepinephrine and acetylcholine slowly. These are the chemicals of sustained attention. They sharpen perception and deepen long-term memory. But here's the part nobody tells you. These chemicals only appear after the resistance phase. You cannot shortcut them. You cannot bypass the discomfort. You cannot bargain your way past it. The price of deep work is paid in the first 40 minutes, every single time you sit down. And almost no one is willing to pay it more than once or twice. That is why deep work feels rare, not because it is hard to learn intellectually, but because it is hard to enter, over and over, day after day, year after year. The skill is not focus. The skill is willingness to feel resistance without acting on it. If you have experienced this, you are not alone, and you are not broken. You are simply running an outdated map of what concentration is supposed to feel like. You are taught that focus feels clean, sharp, effortless once you finally start. Real deep work feels like dragging your mind through wet sand, until suddenly it does not. The transition is invisible from the outside. From the inside, it feels like surfacing for air. Now consider what this means for how you have been measuring yourself all these years. Every time you abandoned a deep work session, you assumed you failed at something basic. But you did not fail. You stopped at the most predictable moment of struggle. The moment your brain was about to release the chemicals you were trying to access all along. You walked away one step before the door quietly opened. This happens to nearly everyone, including the people you admire most from a distance. The difference is, they learn to expect the wall. They no longer interpret it as a signal to quit. They interpret it as confirmation they are close. They smile when it arrives. Comment one word below if this resonates with you right now. Just write, resistance. It helps me understand who is on this part of the path with you tonight. And if this idea is reframing something inside you, drop a single word, doorway. Now let us talk about what to actually do with this knowledge, starting tomorrow. The first shift is reframing the opening of every session before you even sit down. Stop expecting focus to arrive instantly. Expect resistance instead. Expect it on purpose. When it shows up, greet it. Do not negotiate with it. Do not analyze it. Tell yourself this is the entry fee, and you have already decided to pay it gladly. This small mental move removes most of the failure pattern immediately. The second shift is shortening your ambitions, not your sessions themselves. Most people think becoming a millionaire looks dramatic. Most people think a millionaire looks dramatic. They pile expectations on top of an already painful entry. The mind rebels predictably. Instead, pick one small piece of work, one paragraph, one problem, one decision. Make the goal almost embarrassingly small, then stay for the full session anyway. The size of the goal is bait. The duration is the medicine. Never confuse the two. The third shift is protecting the threshold, not the hours on the clock. Stop counting how long you worked. Start counting how often you crossed into real depth. One true entry per day is more valuable than 4 shallow attempts at appearing busy. Because each true entry strengthens the pathway, each shallow attempt quietly weakens it. What is coming next is the exact method that fixes this for almost everyone. You will use a structure called the 3 gates. Each gate addresses one specific barrier. The first gate is environmental. Remove anything that offers a faster reward than your work. Phone in another room, browser tabs closed, notifications silenced at the system level entirely. The second gate is temporal. Choose a fixed window. 60 to 90 minutes is ideal here. Do not check the clock during this window. Do not negotiate the end early. The third gate is internal. Decide in advance how you will respond to resistance arriving. When the urge to escape appears, you will not fight it. You will simply name it. Say quietly, this is the wall, this is the entry. I expected this exact moment. Then return your eyes to the work without judgment. That is the entire move. Repeat this response for 20 to 40 minutes. The wall will dissolve. It always does eventually. Not because you defeated it, but because you refuse to be moved by it. Stay with me. This next part will explain something about your brain you have never articulated. Every time you complete a real deep work session, you teach your nervous system one quiet lesson. That discomfort can be present without being dangerous. That feelings are not commands. This lesson generalizes far beyond work. It changes how you handle difficult conversations. It changes how you sit with uncertainty. It changes how you tolerate silence and waiting. Deep work is not a productivity practice. It is a nervous system practice that happens to produce work. This is why the people who do it consistently feel different, calmer, less reactive, more themselves. They have spent thousands of hours practicing the quiet art of not flinching at discomfort. The work is the byproduct. The transformation is the actual point of the entire practice. And this is what nobody tells you, because it does not fit on a productivity podcast. It cannot be sold as a hack. It cannot be reduced to a morning routine or supplement. It requires you to redefine what success inside a single session actually looks like. Success is not finishing the task. Success is staying through the discomfort completely. The task gets finished as a side effect, sometimes today, sometimes tomorrow, sometimes next week. But the staying is what compounds. The staying is what slowly changes you from the inside. Think back to every time you tried and quit. Hold those memories without judgment now. You were not lazy. You were uninformed. You were operating without the manual. You were trying to enter a state nobody had honestly described to you in plain language. You assumed the door was locked. It was not. You were turning the handle the wrong way. Tomorrow morning you will get another chance at this. Just one session is enough to begin. 60 minutes, one small goal, 3 gates carefully placed before you sit down. When the wall arrives, you will not be surprised. You will not be afraid this time. You will recognize it as the price of admission to a quieter country inside you. You will pay it, and you will walk through the doorway you have been searching for. What you find on the other side will not be dramatic. It rarely is, for anyone. It will be a quiet room inside yourself you had completely forgotten existed. A place where your thoughts move slowly and land cleanly on the page. A place where time stretches instead of disappearing into nothing. A place that has been waiting patiently for you the entire time you were gone. If this reframed how you see deep work, subscribe and stay close to this channel. We are building something here for people who want to live deliberately and slowly. Not faster, not louder, not more impressive. Deeper, always deeper. Your attention is the most valuable thing you own. Guard it like it is the last currency. Because in the end, deep work is not about producing more or achieving more. It is about meeting the version of yourself that only appears in long silence. That version is patient. That version is rare. That version is yours and yours alone. Go find them tomorrow morning. They have been waiting longer than you realize. And when you finally arrive, do not rush. Do not perform. Do not measure. Just sit. Just breathe. Just stay. The work will come to meet you there. It always does eventually. This is what nobody tells you. This is the secret hiding inside the silence. Deep work is not a skill you acquire. It is a self you keep returning to. Return often. Return without apology. Return until returning becomes who you are. Your hours are not infinite. Your attention is your last real currency to spend. Spend it on what matters. Spend it on becoming someone you respect. Welcome to the path. The door is closer than you think.